Imagine waking up one morning, walking through a busy Roman city, hearing merchants shouting, children playing, animals moving through the streets, and smelling freshly baked bread. Everything seems completely normal. But just a few miles away, a mountain is about to change everything.
Fresh figs here!
Its name was Mount Vesuvius. And on that day in AD 79, the people of Pompeii had no idea that they were living through the final hours of their city. Pompeii was not a small village. It was a thriving Roman city filled with homes, businesses, restaurants, workshops, temples, and crowded streets. Thousands of people lived there, enjoying the wealth and comfort of Roman life. But there was something dangerous standing over them. Vesuvius. The mountain had been quiet for generations. So quiet that many people probably never imagined it could destroy their city. Then, without warning, the earth began to shake. Buildings had already suffered damage from earlier earthquakes, and some were still being repaired. But what happened next was far beyond anything Pompeii had experienced before. Vesuvius exploded. A gigantic column of ash, smoke, and volcanic material shot high into the sky. For the people below, the mountain suddenly looked like it had become a gateway to another world. At first, many may not have understood what was happening.
Why is the mountain erupting?
Then ash began falling. Tiny pieces became heavier.
We must flee!
Pumice stones began raining from the sky. The streets that had been filled with ordinary Roman life suddenly became places of fear.
Keep moving!
People looked for shelter. Families tried to escape. Some carried children. Others grabbed whatever possessions they could. The sky became darker and darker until daylight almost disappeared. Imagine being trapped inside a Roman city while rocks are falling from above and the ground is shaking beneath your feet. There was nowhere safe to hide. As night arrived, Pompeii became a terrifying landscape. Oil lamps flickered through clouds of ash. Buildings began collapsing under the weight of volcanic material. People rushed through streets they had walked through thousands of times before, desperately searching for a way out. And the eruption continued. Across the Bay of Naples, the eruption could be seen from a distance. One of the people who witnessed the disaster was Pliny the Younger. His surviving letters would later provide one of the most important written accounts of the eruption. But while people watched from a distance, Pompeii was being buried. Layer after layer of ash and pumice covered the city. Roofs disappeared. Streets vanished. Homes were sealed beneath the earth. And then came one of the most deadly phases of the eruption. Hot volcanic surges raced down the mountain. These fast-moving clouds of superheated gas and ash swept across the surrounding area. For anyone still trapped in their path, there was almost no chance to escape. In a short period of time, the city that had been alive with thousands of people became silent. Pompeii had disappeared. But something extraordinary happened. The volcanic material that destroyed the city also protected it. For almost 2,000 years, Pompeii remained buried beneath the earth. The buildings were hidden. The streets were hidden. The paintings, pottery, tools, coins, and everyday objects were hidden. Even traces of ordinary meals and daily life survived. Then, centuries later, archaeologists began uncovering the city. And what they discovered was astonishing. Instead of finding only broken ruins, they found something much more powerful. They found a moment frozen in time. Roman streets appeared again. Homes emerged from the earth. Beautiful wall paintings survived. Mosaics remained beneath the volcanic layers. A bakery still contained its ancient equipment. Household objects were left where people had abandoned them. And archaeologists discovered something even more heartbreaking. The remains of people who had died during the disaster. In some places, cavities left in the hardened volcanic material allowed researchers to create plaster casts, revealing the positions in which victims died. These discoveries gave Pompeii a human story. This wasn't simply a city destroyed by a volcano. It was a city full of people who had families, businesses, homes, ambitions, fears, and ordinary lives. They woke up that morning expecting another normal day. They never knew they were living through the final chapter of their city. Even today, scientists continue studying Vesuvius and the evidence preserved at Pompeii. The exact details of the eruption are still being investigated, and even the traditional date associated with the disaster has been debated by researchers. But one thing is certain. The eruption transformed Pompeii from a living Roman city into one of the most remarkable archaeological sites on Earth. Today, visitors can walk along the same streets where Romans once walked. They can see the homes they built, the shops where they worked, the paintings they created, and the objects they left behind. Nearly 2,000 years later, Pompeii still tells its story. Not through words spoken by the people who lived there, but through the city they left behind. A city that vanished in hours. A city buried by a volcano. And a city that, somehow, survived long enough for us to discover it again. Pompeii did not simply die. It was buried in time. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more forgotten moments from history. And tell me in the comments, would you have tried to escape Pompeii, or stayed behind?